Hello, everyone. Welcome to our third session of My Yoga Time with the Lincoln Heights Youth Art Center. It's nice to see you all again. Welcome, welcome. And as we have in our previous sessions, our class will be led by this book. It's called Yoga Story by Isik Oran. Now, this week, you can actually go to a link in the description below to see the images of the story if you need to follow along. This week's story is The Camel and the Giant Bamboo Tree, Mauna Training and Practice. I miss my friend the elephant, the huge camel thought to himself as he stood sad and lonely in the scorching desert, looking for some shade and friends to play with. From afar, he saw the giant bamboo tree and decided to go there. He walked and walked, and suddenly he met his friend the rabbit. "Camel buddy, where are you going?" the rabbit asked the camel. "I'm hot. I'm going to the giant tree in the distance to rest in its shade." Wow. Okay, so we have a few things to review before we move forward. Do you remember the elephant's trunk from our first session? Let's try the elephant. Stand up. Bring your arms at your sides. Inhale and bring your arms up over your head. Exhale, dive forward and imagine you have an elephant's trunk with your arms. Can you rock a little bit back and forth, back and forth? And then bring your arms all the way up again and back to your sides. Good job. Now, did you hear a couple of other animals in the story we just read? Do you hear the camel? Do you remember that pose? Let's try it. You have your knees about hip width apart. Bring your hands to your low back and try to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Take a deep breath in. You might look up. Breath out. Press your hips a little forward and your heart up and back. Imagine the front of your body is like a camel's hump. Take one more breath and then come up nice and easy and slow. Great job, everyone. Last pose here that we'll go over is the rabbit pose. He was also mentioned in the story. Take a seat on your heels and your chin tucks into your chest. Roll all the way down until the top of your head is on the ground. Your hips will come up. Your hands can come beside you or make rabbit ears above your head. This is rabbit pose. When you're ready, come on up and take a deep breath in and a sigh out. How did that feel for you? Now, another pose that we've already done that was mentioned in our story is the tree. You want to try it with me? Stand up again. Bring your hands on your hips. Balance on the right foot and bring your left knee out to the side. You can stay like this or try to balance on one foot as your other foot comes up the inner part of your leg. Once you find a good place to balance, your hands can come to your heart. Let's take a breath and a breath out. You could always stay right here or make some branches with your tree. Your arms can even come up over your head. Decide what feels fun for you. You might even look up. Take 3 breaths. Take 2. Take 1. And bring your hands back to your hips. Your knee forward and your foot back to the ground. Let's do the other side. Balance on the left, your right knee out. Foot comes anywhere on your inner leg, and your toe can always stay on the ground. Stay here, or when you're ready, your hands might come together. Remember to stay grounded in your standing foot so you don't wobble, and it's okay if you do. Let's take 3 breaths. If you want, you can find some branches for your tree. 3, 2, and one more breath in, one more breath out. Bring your hands to your hips. Let your right foot come to the ground and your arms to the side. Good job, everyone. You did the tree pose. All right. Should we pick up where we left off in the story? I think we have a few other poses we might incorporate. Let's see what it says. I'm also hot, and it's boring here alone. Can I come with you? The rabbit asked, while shaking his tail side to side, anticipating the camel's answer. Sure you can. I'd love for you to come, the camel answered, wagging his tail with joy. They both walked quietly when they suddenly met another good friend, the snake. Hello, my friends. Where are you walking to? The snake quietly asked them. We are hot, and we are walking to the giant bamboo tree to rest in its shade, they both answered together. So there is a walk. They both walked quietly, says the story, talking about the rabbit and the camel. So we're going to practice a quiet walk. You want to try with me? Let's go. Stand up and start at one side of your room. Your arms at your sides. And we're going to walk slowly, quietly, and mindfully. Take a deep breath in, lift your right knee. Breath out, put your right heel and your right toe down. It's like a slow motion walk. Then your left leg will come up. Very slowly bring your heel and your toe down. Keep your walk going. Breathe in your right leg. Breathe out, land your foot. Let's take one more with the left. And then land your foot. And come to center. Good job, everyone. How did your yoga walk go? Hopefully it was very nice. And there's another animal that was mentioned in the story. Do you remember which one that we haven't done yet? Someone who spoke quietly. Was it the snake? Yes! If you said the snake, you got it right. Let's practice our snake pose. Do you remember how it goes? It's okay if not. We'll go over it. You'll start on your hands and your knees. And then lay all the way down onto your belly. Your hands will rest on the floor under your shoulders. Try to squeeze your elbows and shoulders together. When you breathe in, lift just your upper body off the mat or off the ground like you're a snake in the grass. Can you slither like a snake and make a sound with your S's? Let's take one more breath over here. Can you lift a little higher? And breathe out, lay down. Then press through your hands. Come back through your knees. We're going to take a little rest. So crawl your knees forward and sit back onto your feet. This is child's pose. You can make a pillow with your hands or have your arms stretched out. Let's take 3 breaths here. 3, 2, and 1. Very good job, everyone. Should we continue with our story? Here we go. I think you know all the characters in this part of the story. Let's keep going, and then we can go over them in order. I am also hot, said the snake. Can I join you? He asked the camel and the rabbit. Should we try the snake, camel, and the rabbit all together? Let's try. We just did our snake. Let's try it again. Come lay down on your belly. And hands under your shoulders. When you breathe in, lift your upper body and slither in the grass. Lay down and take a breath in and a long breath out. Press down and come to your hands and knees. Let's come to our child's pose that we just practiced for a moment. Your hips will come back and your arms might come forward. Let's take 3 breaths here. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. We'll come on up to seated. Bring your knees together and tuck your chin to the chest. Roll all the way down until the top of your head is on the mat and your hips lift up. You can stay right here, or if you want to, make those rabbit ears above your head. We're in rabbit pose. Let's take 3 breaths here. 3, 2, and 1. Bring your hands down and slowly come up to seat. Once you sit, take a breath in and a breath out. Hopefully you're not feeling too dizzy. If you start to feel dizzy, you could always place 1 hand on your forehead and 1 hand on your heart. It usually helps. If you would like to try that, take a deep breath and exhale. Let's move on with our camel pose. Come back up onto your hands and knees, your feet separated, your hands to your low back. Squeeze those shoulders and elbows together. Breathe in, imagine you can get nice and tall. Breathe out, press your hips forward, your heart back. Take 3 breaths here. 3, 2, and 1. And slowly come on up. And I think we're ready to continue with our story. Certainly, said the camel and the rabbit to the snake. Let's all walk together. The 2 answered, and the 3 of them started quietly walking again. And so the 3 friends walked slowly in the scorching heat of the desert. Should we try our slow walk? Which one would you like to be? The snake, the camel, or the rabbit? You can imagine you're one of them while you take your walk. Let's go. Start at one end of the room. Take a breath in and a breath out. Your hands can be at your sides or on your hips, or if you have a bunny tail, maybe it's behind you. The rabbit ears can come over your head if you want to try. Breath in, breath out. Take a step. It's nice and slow. Imagine it's a hot day. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Last one. Take your step. Good job, everybody. Let's keep going. So these 3 were walking in the hot, hot desert, walking very slow, when suddenly they met an old friend, the lizard. Hello, my friend, said the lizard. Where are you walking to so slowly? She asked, and lay on her tummy in the hot sand while turning her head away from them. Should we try our lizard pose? Do you remember it from last class? Maybe not. That's okay. We'll go over it. We'll come back onto our hands and knees. And lay down on your belly. Your arms can come out to the sides like a cactus shape and turn your one cheek to one side. Lift your left knee up to the side. You can even make a pillow with your hands. This is our lizard pose. Let's take 3 breaths here. 3, 2, one more deep breath, and let it go. Nice job, everyone. Let's do the other side. Straighten out your left leg, and bend your right knee up to the side. Your cheek will turn to face the right side. You can make a pillow with both of your hands or lay your cheek on the ground. Let's take 3 breaths here. 3, 2, one more deep breath in, and one more long breath out. Can you imagine you're a lizard on the ground, crawling through the grass? Let's take one more breath here, and then straighten out your right leg. Press your hands down, and we'll come back up to a seat. Good job, everyone. Where were we in our story? The lizard had asked where they were walking to so slowly. The 3, the snake, the camel, and the rabbit, answered, "We are walking to the giant bamboo tree to enjoy its shade." Lizard asked, "Can I walk with you too?" The lizard stretched out her tail in anticipation. "Sure you can," the 3 answered, and the 4 of them kept walking slowly until they reached the giant tree. Should we try to make a giant tree again? You remember our tree pose, right? Let's go for it. Oh, actually, I see that there's another friend that we might want to check in with before we go make our giant tree. You ready? I'm going to keep going with the story until we find our next friend. When they arrived at the giant tree, they saw their good friend, the black eagle, on the treetop. He seemed very sad and told them the bamboo tree is very sick since a big and thorny cactus grew in its trunk, drinking away the water it needs. It is in pain and might die. Oh no, that's so sad to hear that our bamboo tree is sick. Well, let's see if we can make our giant bamboo tree feel better by making our tree with our bodies. Are you ready? We're going to stand on up. Now, can you imagine you're a giant tree? Maybe you can make a little bit more space with your arms this time. Balance on your right foot, bring your left knee out to the side, and imagine you're a big giant tree. Maybe some of your branches go in different directions. Take a deep breath and bring your arms down and your knee forward, and we'll do it on the other side. So balance on your left, your right knee out to the side. Let's right away make a big tree with our arms. Imagine you're a giant tree. Maybe it will make our tree feel better. Let's take a few more breaths here. You can explore how wide your arms can get. Giant tree for 3, 2, 1 more breath. And bring your arms to the side and your hands, your feet to the ground. Good job, everyone. Do you remember our eagle pose? If not, that's okay. You bring your arms up, out to the side. Take a deep breath and bring your right arm under your left. Give yourself a squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take a breath when you get here and sit your hips down as low as you can, like you're sitting in a chair. Balance on your left foot and your right leg will squeeze up and over. Your toe will come down to the other side. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your legs together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your arms together. See if you can lean your upper back a little as your elbows come up. This is your eagle beak and your eagle legs. Let's take 3 breaths. 3, 2, and 1. And when you come out, can you have eagle wings? Fly 3, 2, 1. Land your feet and your arms and take a breath in. And a breath out. Good job, everyone. Let's do the other side. Bring your arms out to the side like an eagle's wings. Take a deep breath. And cross the left arm under the right. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe rock it side to side. Grab for your shoulders behind you. Breathe in. And sit low into your chair. Balance on your right pose and wrap your left leg up and over. Your toe will touch down. Can you squeeze your legs together and squeeze your arms together? See if you can lift your elbows up a little higher. And we'll take 3 breaths right here. 3, 2, last one. Good job. And we're going to come out and fly our wings out to the side. Maybe tap the toe up and down for 3, 2, flying eagle, last one. And then land your arms, land your legs. Let's take a deep breath. Shoulders can come up. Breathe out, let it go. Ha! Maybe a nice wiggle of your body, a little shake of the arms, and shake of the legs. Good job, everyone. Let's keep going with our story. So last we read the story, we found out that our poor giant tree had a cactus growing inside, and so it wasn't getting enough water. And then when the friends heard the news, they became very sad. Only Camel did not seem worried. Friends, do not worry. I can save the tree. My lips and teeth are very strong and do not get prickled by any cactus. I can have it for breakfast. The camel said, "Oh, can you believe it? The camel eats cactus. Isn't that perfect?" He sat on all fours, the way camels do when they eat cactus, and began eating the prickly cactus with an appetite, while making sounds of joy. Ah, 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 ah. Can you imagine that silly cactus? By the evening, there was nothing left of the cactus, and the giant bamboo tree began growing again and smiling with joy. How great! They saved the tree. The 5 friends, the camel, the rabbit, the snake, the lizard, and the eagle, were so happy to see the giant tree was blooming again, and they decided to have a party. They celebrated by playing on the sand slide at the nearby dune, and when night fell, they all lay down to sleep like their friend the lizard and had a good night's sleep. What a wonderful end to our story. So to end our story, let's try all of these poses in a row. We have the camel, the rabbit, the snake, the lizard, the eagle, the tree, the slide, and the lizard. Should we try it? Let's start with the snake. Back onto our hands and knees and lay onto your belly. You remember now, don't you? Hands under the shoulders. Breathe in and lift your upper body up. Can you slither like the snake? Take a deep breath here and lay your head down to the ground. We'll press back to our hands and knees, and for a moment, we'll go into our child's pose. Your hips come back and your arms come forward. That's a little in-between pose. Your arms can also make a pillow underneath your forehead. Let's breathe here for a moment. Take 3, 2, and 1. All right, we'll roll back up to seat. And from here, we're going to do our rabbit pose again. Remember that? Tuck your chin to the chest, top of your head on the ground. Your hips will lift up. You can stay right here and make those rabbit ears. Let's take 3, 2, and 1 more breath. Arms will come down if they're lifted and slowly roll up. Ooh, I get a little dizzy, so need to put 1 hand on my forehead and 1 hand on my heart. Take a breath and exhale. Should we continue with our camel pose? Come up onto your knees, separate your knees, bring your hands to your back, and squeeze your shoulders and elbows together. This might be where you stop. Or breathe in and press your hips forward. Your chin can stay tucked in, or if you like this time, you might look all the way up. Let's take 3 breaths here. 3, 2, and 1. Come on up and relax your arms to the side. Good job, everybody. Now we've got our snake, our camel, and our rabbit. What were the other 2 animals that we had? Oh, the eagle and the lizard. Let's save the lizard for last. But should we try our eagle pose again? Let's do it one more time. Our tree and our eagle. Stand up. Now we have a very healthy tree. So bring your hands to your hips. Last tree here. Balance on one foot. Bring your left knee out to the side. And decide where your foot goes along the inner leg. Imagine you're a very healthy tree that the camel just ate the cactus out of. You can decide what you do with your arms. Maybe out to the side. Maybe give yourself a hug. Or up to the sky. Let's take 3 breaths. 3. Healthy tree. 2. Last one. Relax your hands down and your foot down. Step to the other side, right knee out. Last time for our tree. Make some branches in any direction. Let's take 3, 2, 1. Arms down, feet down, breath in, breath out. Last eagle pose. Arms out. Give yourself a squeeze. The right arm comes under the left. Sit your hips down low. Cross the right leg over and touch your toes down. Lift the heart and let's take 3, 2, 1. And let's fly out. Eagle wings. Little tap of the toes. 3, 2, and 1. Land your foot down. Let's go straight into the other side. Arms out to the side. Take a deep breath. Left arm under the right this time. Big hug. Bend your knees. Sit low. Balance on your right foot. Can you lift your left leg up and over and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your knees together. Heart lifts. Elbows lift. Sit low. 3, 2, 1. Let's fly on out. Eagle wings out to the side. Tap your toe. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. We have 2 more poses. Now, do you remember the slide pose? You're going to sit on your bum, your hands behind you. Point your fingers to your toes and lift your hips up. You can stay right here or straighten both legs like you're a slide. Can you imagine someone sliding down the front of you? Take a deep breath and then land your hips down to the ground. Let's bend our knees and give ourselves a little hug just to rest for a moment. Take your breath in and your breath out. Last pose here will be our lizard. Come onto your hands and knees. Lower your chest to the ground. Make a pillow with your hands. Your forehead will land. And bring your left knee out to the side. And you'll look towards your knee. Rest here. 3, 2, and 1. And then we'll turn to the other side. Straighten your left leg, your right knee to the side, look towards the right, and we'll breathe here. 3, 2, and 1. And then straighten both legs. This time we're going to lay flat on our bellies. So put your Forehead, make a pillow with your hands and place your forehead down onto your hands. Let's breathe here. Try to relax your whole body. Keep breathing in and breathing out. Let's take one more breath in and one more breath out. Press your hands down under your shoulders. Let's rest back to our child's pose again. Hips back, knees forward, forehead down. And we'll breathe 3, 2, and 1. Come on up to seated and take a quick seat. Bring your hands on your lap, then inhale, bring your arms up over your head and your hands to the heart. Thank you all so much for joining me for my yoga time. I hope you had a great time with our friends, the lizard, the camel, the rabbit, the snake, and the eagle. And of course, our tree. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week.